What are your intentions? Where do you want this to go?
Right.
And then as our relationship started progressing, I said to him, so here's where I see myself in 3 years. I see myself married and having a child. I said, not saying it has to be with you. I'm just saying, this is where I see myself. If you see yourself going that route, let's continue this relationship. But if that's not what you see it for yourself, let's just end it now. And
no hard feelings.
You know, and he was just like, okay, no, that's what I want.
Do you think you're trying to scare him away a little bit?
I don't know. You know, it's funny you say that because the relationship progressed and he moved down to London from Montreal. So he left his friends and family and moved down to Montreal, moved into my house. And so I was so excited for him to move in. I was beyond the moon. I wanted him to move in, right?
Yeah.
The first 2 weeks, I'm telling you, were hell. Because it was deja vu. It was deja vu because he was excited to be, you know, he was excited, he was happy, and it just brought back memories of my ex. My ex was the same way when we got together. And I was frozen.
Yes.
To the point, the poor guy, to the point where he actually sat me down and he said, do you want me to move out?
Really?
Oh yeah, it was
within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I just shut down, and if anyone knows me well enough, I'm very animated, I'm very lively, and I shut down. There was no conversation, there was nothing. And again, that's where I thought I had dealt with my past, but I didn't.
Right.
I didn't, and the fear of a relationship ending and going badly again, just surf it. Oh, it was bad, but we worked through it.
This is a very common theme, though, for a lot of people. I mean, marriages are splitting up probably more than ever before, and a lot of that stuff is going to come up in the next relationship, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people still have the same idea. I mean, I do too. I've never been married, but I'd like my marriage to be forever. But I'm not going to put that expectation on myself either, because that can be unhealthy to hold on to.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You don't want to hold on to it for the wrong reason.
Right.
Yeah.
So, did you say you had 3 kids?
I do.
Okay, so did you have any kids with this first ex?
I did.
You did. Yeah. So, 2
with my ex.
2 with your ex?
And 1 with my husband now.
So, how is their relationship, like, how is the whole relationship and the dynamic there?
That's another very difficult topic.
Okay, if we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, obviously, you know, you seem like a great mom.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to make sure that everybody's kind of doing okay.
Mm-hmm. No, everyone's okay. They live with their father.
Yeah.
They've chosen to live with him, and I respect that.
Yep.
And one day we will have a relationship.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
Absolutely. Well, I can't wait for that day.
I know.
I mean, it sounds like things are going, but the exciting thing is you've got this great little family that at first you shut down on, and now you're communicating to the point where I need somebody to pray with, not even of the same faith.
I know.
And that's what real love is, right? We keep putting you first and putting everything aside.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is.
Very cool.
It's been a great experience for sure. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. So in this whole thing that you've gone through, this whole story, thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that, and I definitely will stay away from the sex right now. But maybe next time you'll get a little more comfortable. We've got to get you up to Mo Mondays, right?
I told you. I said to you, I have to go and face a bunch of men at work tomorrow. And I need to look them in the eye.
And I think that you'd be a great speaker at Mo Mondays. Maybe it's just sort of, I know that the story, your own story, eventually you say it the first couple times, and it starts to still bring up these emotions, right? The more people that you talk to about it, the more comfortable you become. It sort of flows out of you, and you're inspiring people without even knowing it. So maybe you just need to kind of share it a few more times and you'll get there. But I'd love to see you on Mo Mondays.
Okay, Mo Mondays is what? 60, 70 people? This is what, millions? Like,
Potentially. But the thing that's great about this is it's a very intimate conversation setting.
Right.
You don't know who's watching, and hopefully the right woman that's in that relationship right now can relate to you.
Well, exactly. That's the point.
So if there is someone out there watching that can relate to something that you've been through, what are your words of advice to them? Or words of advice in general after everything you've learned in your little life so far?
You know, there's a lot of things that come to mind. One is, where do I even start?
Wherever you want.
I think setting those healthy boundaries, definitely setting those healthy boundaries, knowing sort of what you will and won't tolerate, realizing the example. One of the things that I thought about and why I left, one of the other reasons why I left was I wanted to make sure that my son knew how to treat a woman, and make sure that my daughter knew how a man should treat her. You know, I wanted to be that example, and I didn't want them to grow up and see what they had seen. You know, there needed an end there. So really, you know, a lot of people will say, you know, I'm staying with him because of the kids, but the kids feel it, they see it, they know it, and you're not doing the kids any favors. I think two happy people apart are better than two unhappy together. So, you know, my words of advice is, you know, no woman deserves to be abused mentally, physically, emotionally, and
I agree.
you know, they also say who you're with is a reflection of your self-esteem. So,
I agree totally.
So you know, so there's a lot of deep inner soul searching that really needs to be done. If you are in an abusive relationship, what is that saying about you? You know, why are you accepting that? Why is that enough for you? Why?
And how does someone in that situation rebuild themselves? That's probably a tough thing too, right? I mean, how did you rebuild yourself after that?
That's a good question. There was a course that was offered that was called Rebuilding Relationships, and I couldn't even tell you how or where, but it was, you know, locally funded. And it was every week you had to go, and you had to be single, like you could not be in a relationship. They really wanted you to do a lot of soul searching. And it dives deep into what worked in your last marriage, what didn't work. And there was even some good soul searching stuff in terms of, you know, writing your ex a letter, and then they did like a bonfire and burned it all.
Sure, because you got all the emotions out.
Exactly, So there was some of that, and, you know, learning, you know, codependency relationships, and, you know, different styles of relationships, so what you had and what you want in a relationship, and, you know, sort of knowing for the next relationship what you could do. Because, like you said, you don't want to take the wrong of the last relationship into the new relationship. You don't want to do that. So you need to know what went wrong here and what part did you play. So I think that to me was my biggest self-awareness was, what did I do wrong so that I can't do it again. And to me it was setting those healthy boundaries and communicating. I know with myself when something's wrong with me, I shut down, and I can't. You know, my husband now knows too. Whenever Rita's quiet, there's something wrong. So he'll poke me from what's wrong. What's wrong? No, there's something wrong. Right? Because I'm not myself.
But you'll communicate when you really need it. Because last night you communicated when you really needed someone to pray with you.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's a huge step in itself, right? So it sounds like you've done a lot of work on yourself.
And it's
awesome.
continuous. Like, I find it's a continuous thing. I don't think
it's
you're
all
ever
through life. No, you're not. And the nice thing about it, though, is once you start, it becomes addictive. It becomes something that you want to do, and you realize, hey, I'm worth this. And that's a really nice feeling. Would you agree?
I would agree. And I think one of the things, the reason why Rita is so good in PinkInk is because she's taken her hurt and is helping others. So serving others.
You're right. It's serving others and the gratitude, because, like we said, what we found is when we were doing makeup or talking with women, they started opening up to us. So we would relate. It's that empathy would come out and go, you know, I understand, I can relate to you, and this bond would form, and these relationships would form, and all of a sudden, you know, we're doing more business with the people. Because we're able to relate with them on more than just putting an eyeliner on.
You're women that have
connecting with the soul,
life experience, and can share that wisdom, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, well, that's fantastic, and I love the fact that you and I think more people need to do this, because there's a lot of people that say, oh, it was my ex, or oh, it was this. You're taking your responsibility and working on, okay, what do I need to do to improve myself? You can't control anyone else. You can only work on yourself and make them adapt to the change within you, right? So, I think this has been a great podcast this evening. Is there anything that you want to say about your business? Do we have any upcoming events, or how do we get in contact with PinkInk for the ladies out there?
We do have a website, PinkInkimage.com. So we do have a website. We have our Facebook page, PinkInk image, right?
Okay.
We are now doing monthly. I'm doing a video called Rita's Raves. By the way.
Rita's Raves. I think I saw one of those.
Did you see one of those?
Yeah.
So basically, it's.
I thought you were throwing a rave for a second. Where's the dancing?
I'm dancing. Yeah. So that's been fun because I've been able to work with local entrepreneurs and test their products and then showcase them.
Very
so
cool.
I've been meeting some really wonderful people
Cool.
that way and really promoting their business, and I think it just is propelling our business as well, which is nice. People are reaching out. What else? What's going on? There's a bunch of things sort of in the infancy stage right now that.
Nothing that we can really.
Nothing that we can talk about.
Oh,
right
it's
now,
top secret stuff.
Yeah.
Well, what we can do then is at the bottom of this podcast, when we finish up here on the Facebook page, if you want to, you can either post links or send me links, and I'll post them in the comments so people can find you.
Yeah.
All right. And any women out there that are watching, is it okay if someone, you struck a chord with someone, for them to reach out to either of you to chat?
Absolutely. We're always open.
Awesome.
To
All about helping other people. So I think that's it. Anything else to add, ladies?
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Anytime.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm co-hosting with you.
Yeah, for sure. This is very a great story, and a story I always feel so badly because I know I'm sorry you went through so much, but
no, it's okay.
You're such a strong woman today, right? It's obviously that the benefit of it is positive. Yeah, it's obvious. So, thank you for being our Woman Crush this week.
You're welcome.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We'll post in the comments ways to get a hold of Rita and Jen, great co-host over here. And you can also check out Jen's podcast previously on the YouTube channel or on iTunes. Look for Jennifer Slay. So I guess that's it for this evening. We'll see you guys Sunday with our Soul Fire Sunday. The topic is going to be eating healthy to help get rid of stress, anxiety, and depression. Okay, guys? So that's it for now, and we'll catch you Sunday.